Here we'll discuss the new features, the new feature in version 10 that allows you to support multiple languages in a grid definition. So here we have a very simple example of a name and address grid, and let's assume we'd like to define a new language called, say, UK English, in which last name is called surname and the bill state region is called the county, and this is called the postal code. And then in the case of the US, which will be say the default language, we'd like to just call this zip code and then state. So the first thing we're going to go do is go and tag the fields that we'd like to make replaceable, depending on the current language. So we'll go back into design mode, and then let's go to last name. And in order to tag a field, we put in a special tag called angle bracket A5:R. So let's go there and put in the closing tag over there and the opening tag over there. Let's just remove the so A5:R means that this now is a replaceable tag and can be replaced depending on what the current language is. So now we'll go to the state field, and we'll put in our tags over there, and we'll go to the postal code field and we'll tag that. And now you can basically tag any text in the definition, so in prompts and freeform regions, and any place there's static text, you can put in these tags. So now we've defined these tags. Let's go and define the language definitions. So I'll go here to language definitions, and you can see there's always a default language definition. So we'll add a new language called UK English, and then we'll press this button over here to get a list of all the placeholders that we've used. So we'll go back to, say, default over there, and for the default case, which is, say, US English, we'll just use last name, state, and here we'll use zip. But in the case of UK English, we'll use surname, county, and postal code. So we'll save that away, and now let's go and do a preview. And by default, the preview uses the default language. So you can see there it says state, zip, and of course still last name. But now let's go to design mode and set the active language. So I'll do that by going into my on-grid initialize event, and I'll go here and I'll say that active language equals UK English. Now you might also set the active language in the override settings section in the A5W page that loads the grid. So this is one way of doing it, and the override settings would be another way of doing it. So now let's go ahead here and do a preview. So you can see now it says surname, county, and postal code. So the ability to define languages is very powerful, and there's no limit to the number of languages. But the language definitions themselves can be extremely powerful, because not only can you define literal values over here, but you can also use expressions. So even though this makes no sense at all, I'm going to just type in expression and then date. So now I'm going to be using the current date in the heading for the postal code for UK English. So let's go ahead now and do a preview, and you can see here we've put in the current date by using an expression in our language file. So there you have language definitions, which are a really powerful new feature in version 10.